Today's lesson is on writing and modeling ratios. First, let's review a few vocabulary words. The quantities x and y in a ratio are called terms. Unit rate is the number in a rate that is being compared to 1. Remember the 3 ways to write ratios. Word form, x to y. Colon form, x colon y. And that dreaded one that we all don't want to look at, but we're going to, fraction form, which is x over y. Since we want to be able to model a ratio, how can a diagram or picture help you solve a ratio problem? The ratio of footballs to soccer balls at a sporting goods store is 5-3. If the store has 100 footballs in stock, how many soccer balls does the store have in stock? About it for a second. We have a ratio of 5-3. We've got to get that 5 to be 100. One way we could do this is to model the picture. Model the relationship of the ratio of the number of footballs to the number of soccer balls is 5-3. I use a bar diagram to the side. I have 5 gray or blue boxes and 3 white boxes. The blue boxes represent the footballs and the white boxes represent soccer balls. If we use the same number in each box to get 100 footballs and the boxes at the bottom are equivalent, how many soccer balls are represented by the 3 boxes on the bottom? So I need to ask myself, what is 100 divided by 5? Across the top, I realized if I put 20 in each box, 20 times 5 equals 100. So each box represents 20 footballs. So along the bottom, I want to do the same. I want to put 20 in each box. So now I have 3 boxes with 20. 20 times 3 is 60. So back to my entire question, how many soccer balls does the store have in stock? There are 60 soccer balls. Let's analyze question 1. What is the ratio for Yolanda uses 4 cups of nuts and 2 cups of dried fruit to make trail mix? You could use a tape diagram to show the comparison. She has 2 nuts for each 1 dried fruit, while she has 4 of the nuts to 2 dried fruits. So the ratio is 4 cups to 2 cups, or 4:2. Notice that the quantity of the nuts is double the quantity of the dried fruit. Every ratio has a related rate, which would be the second quantity in relationship to the first quantity. 2. A car can travel 300 miles on 10 gallons of gas. The ratio is 300 miles to 10 gallons. What is the unit rate of miles to gallons? Unit rate needs to be compared to 1. Just like a unit fraction has to have a 1 in the numerator. So here is a chart, and it broke it down, putting them into 300 miles. Across the bottom, they start with 1, so we would fill in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice the pattern. For 1 gallon, we went 30 miles. So for 2 gallons, we would go 60, 3, 90, 4, 120. 5's already filled in for us. 6, 180. 7, 210. 8, 240. and 9 to 70, and 10 to our 300. So across the bottom, they divided each section and split it into the 10, which means we were dividing. Divide both quantities in the ratio by the second quantity in the ratio and write a new ratio. What is this ratio called? So we have 300 over 10 divided by 10 over 10 equals 30 over 1. So we would say 30 miles to 1 gallon. This ratio is the rate because it compares a quantity to 1. We've discussed a lot today. So in reflection, what is the difference between a ratio and its related rate and unit rate? A ratio compares any two quantities. Just like in our problem, we had 300 miles to 10 gallons. A related rate is an equivalent ratio in which the first quantity is compared to 0, which would be 30 miles to 1 gallon. The unit rate is the number that is compared to 1 in the rate. So the unit rate would be 30.